It's now 3 days since government withdrew charges of terrorism from the 5 2010 terror suspects that were rearrested and charged for the second time. Dr. Ismail Kalule was one of them. A professional doctor and specialist in treating chronic diseases using homeopathic medicine, Dr. Kalule had his life shattered when he was declared a terrorist in the year 2010. He was rounded up with others and kept in Luzira prison, the home of criminals, for 8 years. After court gave him his freedom, we look up for him at his home in Chiwatule, Chadondo, in Chira sub-county. It's here that we find him trying to make good of what his children have missed for the last 8 years. He tells us that on the day he returned home, none of his children was able to recognize him because they were very young at the time he was arrested.
I was arrested when he was still very young. At least he was around 2 months old. And almost 8 years, he never see me again. And when I came back, they wondered, especially those youngest one, they wondered, who is that person, who is that guy? Where does he come from? They were asking their mom, because the children, they didn't even recognize me.
A former prisoner, Dr. Kalule'S shared with us his experience of 8 years, which he says was not easy since he was not allowed to mix with other inmates.
Maybe the prison warder, they think that we are poisoners to the other fellow inmates. So we were kept in a place known as East Wing. It is a prison within a prison.
And when we ask him how he intends to make good of the lost time, this is his story.
This is to stay peacefully as a free person, as like other Ugandans, doing my work as I usually to do, my business as I usually to do, but to keep peace in our country, and to assist our fellow Ugandans, and to pray for the justice to prevail on each and every person.
Even though he was given bail several times, Kalule was rearrested, which increased fear in his life that even when he was told to go home, he was not sure it was for real.
I suspected that maybe we can be rearrested simply because I saw a lot of civilian close the security operative outside the court. And some of them, we are still recognize their faces because they are familiar to us. All this period of time of being acquitted, rearrested, acquitted, rearrested, acquitted, rearrested. So
a lot has happened since he was locked up, but one painful experience was the loss of his father, Haji Sulaiman Kabega, whom he never got the opportunity to bury.
The news of the death of my daddy, really, it affected me deeply, psychologically, mentally, as well as physically, simply because he was the breadwinner of my family, my wife, my children, as well as even my mother.
While Dr. Kalule could be happy to be home, he is also sad that he cannot be compensated since the charges that were set on him were of high-profile nature. Zahar Namuli, Namtamba Esther, NBS, live at 9.